I like to call this salad a Vietnamese style Nicoise salad. It's a combination of tuna, toasted peanuts, and instead of serving it with a Dijon sauce, which is traditional with a Nicoise, I'm going to serve it with a gnoc mum. So let's get on with the gnoc mum first. Some fish sauce. About a tablespoon of fish sauce into a bowl that I'll roughly measure out. When it comes to this dressing, it's all about balance. So the saltiness will come from the fish sauce. Sweetness is going to come from caster sugar, so again, a tablespoon of that. And then the acidity is going to come from a grapefruit. Usually you would use lime, but grapefruit works really nicely. I'll get onto that in a second because I want to add a few more things to this. Some garlic, and I'll just finely mince that garlic on a fine grater. We'll just tap that straight into the sauce. And one bird's eye chili. Now, bird's eye chili has a bit of heat to it, so if you don't like this to be quite hot, you can use a long red chili. This goes so nicely with the tuna. So I'm just going to leave the seeds in it and just run my knife through it a few times. Okay, into the sauce. Just get all of those little seeds off. And then I'll start to incorporate this and mix it and start to dissolve that sugar. Now we need to add the grapefruit juice. So I'm going to use the grapefruit in two different ways. First, I need to peel it and segment it. Now the segments are going to go into the salad to give it a pop of sweetness and also a bitter flavour too, which is what I'm looking for. So top and tail, we don't want any pith on this. So when you're segmenting this, start from the top and run your knife around the edges of the grapefruit, taking away all of that white pith, just exposing that beautiful pink ruby grapefruit. And then any excess white, just trim it. Great, get rid of that. Now to segment, I'll grab my bowl, which I'm going to mix all of the salad into. Just hold it in your hand and you'll see if you cut in the lines, beautiful little segments will pop out. And when you're doing this, take your time because you are holding this grapefruit in your hand. You don't want to cut your hand. So just be very delicate and use a sharp knife for this. It's actually safer to use a sharp knife and slowly take your time. Right, that's the last segment. Now don't waste this because this is full of juice. So I'm just going to squeeze that grapefruit juice straight into the gnoc mum. Okay, now give this one more mix to incorporate everything and taste. Taste is key to a gnoc mum to see how balanced it is. Oh, it's so good. It's just like the classic, but even better because grapefruit juice is so unique. I love that. Okay, pop that to the side. Let's finish assembling this salad. In the grapefruit bowl, I'll add a few gorgeous cherry tomatoes, just cutting them horizontally so we can expose all those beautiful seeds inside, along with some fresh herbs that go nicely with the tuna. Some mint leaves, I'm not chopping them because I want to use these leaves almost like a lettuce leaf. And for some coriander, just a few sprigs of coriander. It's quite strong in flavour, so I don't want it to overpower. A small handful is sufficient. We can add our tuna now. Use some good quality tuna. I'm using tuna in oil and just break it up into small chunks. I've drained it. So I like different textures of tuna in this. Little pieces and larger pieces. And then using a spoon and a fork just to lightly toss this so we're not breaking up any of those leaves. Looks good. Now we can dress this with our gnoc mum. I like to add a few spoonfuls of it first, have a taste, and then see if it needs more. And don't forget, this gnoc mum has some strong flavours in it, so you really don't want to overdress it so it's overpowering. Now I'll have a taste. Oh, that is just perfect. It's balanced, it's how I like it. And for the garnish has to have some textural elements to it. So some toasted peanuts, that's all I'm using. We'll place that into a mortar and pestle and just crush it. Done. Let's plate this up. Just going to grab some tongs to make it easier to get out of the bowl. And we'll just pile this up, start with the leaves and then show off that tuna that's been dressed in that lovely fish sauce dressing. Get those segments of grapefruit and those tomatoes. Finally, we'll garnish this with a generous sprinkling of these toasted peanuts. Lovely. This is a salad I like to eat at least once a week. I like it that much I've even added it to my recent cookbook. This is Tuna Nicoise, Vietnamese style.